Today, why I said this is an emergency podcast is I needed to talk about this singular display that has been exhibited by the Lagos State government, which I feel that, to me, I see it as a small monster. And one of the most shocking thing about small monsters is they say the small monsters are pets. I will take them as pets, and after they grow, we see how the small monster become things we cannot contain anymore. So much that the monster, that dragon whom they shower with tenderness, could become a predator when go definitely can eat us up. That's what I've seen with the renaming of streets and renaming of bus stops, renaming of public space by the Lagos State government and some local councillors or who have embarked in their heart of renaming streets, renaming bus stops and every other places. The reasons they gave to be the reason why they embarked in this heart is for preservation of indigenous, they said, preservation of indigenous values and heritage, that they need to preserve indigenous values and heritage. So I'm going to talk about this and just try to draw up analysis, try to make us understand that this small monster can eat us up later. Welcome to the Testament podcast.
Instead of be sleep, let it be hate, let it degrade, let it be deep. Some others should weep, some others should keep the memory of the way that I died. Maybe.
Okay, it is time for me to say this. I wish I would always say it. Subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms, likes, share, comments. Very, very important for you to do that. Okay, now let's dive into what I want to talk about today, which I feel that is a small monster. And once we not pay attention to something like this, you discover that at the later end, these actions taken by us can become something where we not feel run away once the consequences don't unfold. So it is important that we talk about these issues and try to state reasons why we believe saying as something we need to stop doing, we need to destroy, so that it not becomes something when go eat us up. Now, these are the reasons why I'm going to state this. First of all, the Lagos State government and some local government councils gave reasons why they needed to change the names. I have seen that some of the names they've changed, although I've not seen all of them. I've seen some or majority of the names, and I see that majority of the names changed are Nigerians. Not really what you would have thought that they would have really want to change, which happens to be names of the colonial masters that probably have written history in a way to please them. History to shows that they brought good things and good tidings to African and to Nigerians. These are the things we would have been able to change to rewrite our history by ourselves. But I discovered that the names changed, or majority of the names that have been changed are names associated to Nigerians. Now, what is the reasons or what is the purpose behind the change of name? I done so one time ago. I did a series on, not a series, an episode on identity. I said I don't know why humans always a crave to identify themselves to a particular thing, either a particular ideology, a particular belief, or structure themselves based on what thing they identify with. And we always crave and often one key with for identity. Those who identify as Christians were all strong to their belief and structure their life just to show their Christianity. So why this change of name? Change of name as a result to preserve indigenous value. Preserve, which is very important. Everything about man conception is to preserve. We preserve information, we preserve food so that it don't get spoiled for the rainy day. We preserve money, we keep money at the bank so that we can use it for the rainy day or use it to establish and have a better life. The word preservation or preserve is very, very important. Man, preserve. That is the only way we can sustain living. So we must preserve. Now, indigenous values. Now, I've looked from history or looked from books and I tried to find out what is the best way to preserve indigenous values or something you hold strong, whether it's a belief or a way of life, a culture or a setup or a structure. The best way to preserve such information is documentation. You document information if you want them to preserve. The reason we can structuralize and conceptualize in context the lifestyle of so many people who don't live so many years ago is based on documentation, the information they've decided to store on papers and on scripts, on scrolls. From those information, we don't feel dissect how those best people live their life and reasons why they took the actions they took, or why they did what they needed to do, or if it was for survival or if it was for pleasure. We got to know about these things based on what it was documented. That is the best form and the only best way to document or preserve indigenous values. It is not by change of names. Because you say indigenous values. First of all, I don't want to talk about that one first. Let me dwell on this first. Now, why would you want to change? Because I believe that there's an undertone. There's a hidden agenda behind the change of names. Because you cannot preserve something for too long. Say you want change one thing when you don't preserve it. Do you know the number of languages, the number of empires, the number of kingdoms when you don't wash away? When that the reason why some of them are not being talked about is the limitation and the information that was left behind. That's the reason why we don't feel understand this history of these people, which is the same thing when they happen for Nigeria, that we've forgotten, or the professors or those historians don't suppose they document the information for many when they come before us, so that they go know why we live the life we live, why we did what we did, the reasons why we moved this way and moved that way, to help them not to make such mistakes, to help them propagate their life, to help them find their foot on time. It is information. Information is the reason we go to school. The difference between a lawyer and a doctor is based on the information both of them decide to get. So information is very important. It is the pathway to our structuralization. This is the pathway we find our path. It is how we map our lives. It is with information. So the best way to document information is by learning and teaching. You have to teach your locality, which I don't wonder over time why we say we don't teach history again for primary school. The history is supposed to be one of the subjects that they're going to teach from the nursery, so that in their little age, when their brains develop, they could understand things around them. We know they think about this place. Now let's go back to Lagos State issue. Why I think is a small monster. Now, seeing that the best form of documentation is to put in writing that the reason why we try to understand Christ and the lives he lived and the disciples or everyone that have lived is because of the information of the Bible. We fit to draw conception. We fit to even art movies. We fit to know the kind of decisions where they take and why they take the decisions, or what they happen around them, or the kind of life when they live, or what they wear, what they drink, what they chop. If you know this about these persons because of information. Do you know how many languages when don't go in extinction? Do you know how many kingdoms when don't go in extinction that we don't even know about? Do you know how many things when don't go in extinction, animals and food when don't go in extinction that we don't know about? That if you really want to keep and preserve your culture, your indigenous values, as you say, the best way is documentation, is by teaching people around you, teaching your locality, your children, teaching them about their history. It is not by change of name. Because there's an hidden agenda behind this reasoning, behind this change of name. Because, come to think of it, whatever reason, whatever ideology you might have nursed is not a new ideology. Someone before you have also nursed such ideology. And they tell you the truth. Someone before you also knows the ideology. So, something you nurse is not really new. It's probably an expansion of an ideology that was nursed some time ago. So, what the hell? Who told you that this reason you are taking for change of name is the best? Do you even know that you are altering or you are rewriting history? Because take for instance, if one really go into Lagos State history, you discover, say, Lagos State has always been centralized. It has always been centralized, and it has always been known as a commercial city, right from all histories. And the Yorubas or whoever is not the first people when occupy or settle for that place. You can tell just by the geographical location that it is a place of different settlement because of the water bodies around the city. So people go easily, they come to that locality because of the water body. So why do you want to claim Lagos State? To me, I believe the reason behind their reasons is to claim Lagos. Because they want to say Lagos State not be everybody own. But that is what it is if you look from history. But the truth is, no matter how far or how long you're going to try to do this rechanging of name and everything, that you have altering the history already, you're not going to really preserve whatever thing you think you want to preserve. you're only going to make that language go in extinction very quickly. Because the truth, if it's not written based on names, what is the history behind the names? You drop a document on those history. Because you don't even know what you're altering. What makes someone indigenous? If you want to really define indigene. Indigene, another synonym of indigene is originated. Someone who is born, or someone when they birth for that place, someone when come from that place. So I am an indigene if my parents give birth to me here. That is the reason why most politicians, they fly go US, although Donald Trump don't put a stop to that, because once they know that their Pekin is born in the US, automatically you become an indigene. So it means the child enjoys every right of anyone who is from that place. So if that is one of the reasons why, or that is one of the definition of what indigene is all about, it means everyone. Because one thing we will accept generally in Nigeria is the reason why anybody they get the right to put a name on the street is because he happens to be the first person on that street, on that locality. It means that person bring development come that place. It means that person first bust that place open. So there's always a reason attached to why you give a place a name, and probably that place has been a landmark to that person when he named day. And someone who has stayed in a particular place for 40 years, you want to say such person is not an indigene? Why the state, or why whoever is in charge, or whoever draw out this stuff, whoever write out these policies or decide to go into this, I don't even know how to state it. Why did you not think of other options? Why did you not expand it and think of the effect of the change of name? You're rewriting history. You are damaging the Yoruba history already, because you don't want to tell them how the thing really play. And one of the things that has caged us as Nigerians is because of the misinformation that was taught to us in school. That is one of the things that have caged us. Misinformation that this is one person is the first person that discovered River Niger. Misinformation about what really is the reason behind Nigeria. Do you even know the reason behind the South and the North coming together as one? That it was a business idea, that it was for personal interest. See, we need to really know the real history of Nigeria so that we'll go know, say, what will they do a wrong thing, no? And if this monster, which is being nursed by the Lagos state government, pushed by it, backed by anyone who is backing it, this is a small monster that when it don't groom to become something you cannot cage, it go be a predator, and now you go first devour. Before you go start to eat everybody, now you when they keep on, I go first start with. Because now what you are telling now, that every other state can also, or every other persons in every other state can also go for change of name to preserve what? Indigenous values. Forgetting that the best way to preserve values is documentation. How long are we going to keep on destroying ourselves? Like, if you just look at either the government or within ourselves, we always they fight. Waiting make us the always one day. Na my own, na my own, na my own, na my own. Do you think we are only going to end up? See, the politicians don't devise ways on how to occupy us, and this idea is one of the ways to occupy us, shifting our attention away from things that really matters, and they play the game well for us. Man, kudos to the Lagos state government. Kudos to whoever when knows the ideas. Kudos to all of you when they back up the ideas. Keep it up. One day you might not be in existence to test what your actions have done, but your children will call you, man, dad. Our ancestors, they messed up, because when they see how your actions has affected their lives, they will know that you really messed up. Man, peace out.
Yeah, instead of be them, let it be me. Since I will die, inevitably, then let it be, that it be said, when I am dead. Some other was free, some other was fed, some other not me, was able to see that long as we live inside of a country where no one is safe, no one is safe. We only evade, try to escape the imminent doom, but closer the date looms, it comes for all. If we must go, then at least when we fall, when